everyone, and welcome to the stream. Is it too early to also say happy Halloween? Welcome in, Zenith. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Anyway, welcome in. I hope you guys are doing well. It's that time of year again where every stream we're dressing up for the vibes. Anyway, Jade Shade, welcome in. Congratulations on redeeming first, and also welcome in Picky Pick and Hannah. Hello, Hannah. And welcome in Overlord. And also, dear, I hope you have the best time playing Final Fantasy. October 1st, it's spooky season. October 1st was yesterday, so according to Varmy, it is past being too early. Welcome in. I hope you guys are all doing well. Love the clown fit. Thank you. I feel like I do a clown almost every year, but like different variations on the clown. Today I wanted blue because I wanted to use a specific glitter. Overlord, are we already popping off? Jump scare? Oh, not the jump scare. I think there was 2 years in a row where we did like a vampire for the first one. But I was feeling a little clownish, which is very funny because I also have a video I wanted to record after stream, but I don't think the clown is the vibe for that video. So, we'll see. But anyway, today we are taking a break from Date Everything because I have deemed it not seasonally appropriate. And we are playing Bad End Theater, which is like a puzzle game, visual novel type of beat. I don't know a lot about this game other than I thought it looked cute and it seemed interesting. So there is that. Love the fit. Thank you, Overlord. I love a good excuse to have some clown vibes. Okay. Dingy is not currently in my room, but he was earlier. These are his cat toys. And there was a period of time where he was sitting on this chair and I thought for sure he was gonna try to rip them out. But anyway, we're playing Bad End Theater. I'm not really sure if there's any content warnings I should give. But as the name suggests, I think the whole gimmick of the game is that everything is a bad ending. So that'll be an experience. All right, I should get the game going. Anyway, this is literally the first screen. It popped up as like a windowed mode, and I said, oh, thank God. I can just take that over to my second monitor. Can I? Oh, it gives us the content warning here. So I'm gonna just change the volume here. I think that's good. You guys let me know if the game is too loud. I just kind of turned it down like in the built-in volume mixer on my computer, because it was also just loud in my ears. Actually, I might take it down just a hair more. I always feel like I start yelling a lot. I don't think there are minors in your stream unless Blue joins. Blue is definitely not a minor. I don't entirely remember how old he is, but I do know he is not a minor. I know there are a couple who at least were minors a couple years ago that hang around here sometimes, but I'm pretty sure for the most part everyone is an adult. If I got here 9 years ago, I would have been one. Well, Zenith, I didn't stream 9 years ago. I wasn't even interested in like doing gaming stuff 9 years ago. Like outside of playing games. Okay. I think I got the sound done. Y'all didn't say anything about it being awful. Welcome to Bad End Theater. On this stage, we shall be toying with fate. You will make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. But first, allow me to explain how it works. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you like. I like this one. The human doll and the demon doll. It's so funny. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy, just minding your own business. How will you interact with the human doll? Guys, do we attack it or do we play nice? Punk status. Zenith, you are amongst the younger of those in chat, I'm pretty sure. Not Barbie calling you a boomer, though. Apparently, I've been following Mel for 1 year. Feels like 2. That's wild. No, like, time just really... It passes in a way that is just... It never makes sense. It always feels like more time has passed or less time has passed, but never the right amount. JTR's been here for 9 months? That's wild. I feel like it has been longer than 9 months. Have I really only been playing Dragon Age for about that time? That's wild. Okay, I'm gonna be nice. You try to make friends with the human doll, but it kills you in cold blood. How Ruth, I should have known. I should have known. You found your very first bad ending, but don't worry, the story need not end here. Let's reset the stage again, try again. Controlling the other doll, okay. You're a friendly little guy, just minding your own business. How will you interact with the demon doll? Well, I know it's gonna kill me if I play nice. You and the demon doll are able to set aside your differences and become friends. Oh, that's so cute. Why, this isn't a bad ending at all. I should have written out this possibility. It's just not suited to my theater whatsoever. Now that you know how the story goes, you can set the doll's behavior in advance. As you just saw, the behaviors will automatically be set to what you chose during your last playthrough. But now you can turn each one on or off without having to replay from that doll's perspective. My theater actually doubles as a puzzle game. Now, try turning the doll's behaviors on and off to see the different outcomes. Okay. Okay. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy minding your own business. We will attack it. You both attack each other at once and die together. Guys, is this toxic yaoi? For 7 months and 16 days? That also does not feel correct. I don't think that is correct, Zenith. I don't know if you were doing a bit and did an unfollow and follow thing to reset the timer at one point, but 7 months is absolutely, I'm pretty sure, not correct. But also, I have no clue. I have no clue. Quickly learned that problem with having comments I want to make, but being mid-fight so I can't stop to type. I have that problem all the time whenever I'm like lurking in a friend's stream and I'm also playing like League of Legends or something where it's harder to swap out of the game. I hate it. Okay. Alright, I think I figure out how to play. I get it. This game saves your progress automatically, so just relax and collect all the bad endings at your own pace. So, I have read that we should be able, unless I'm really dumb and do a lot of yapping, we should be able to see every ending this stream. So that's fun. Mine is correct. Also, Zenith was here before I was. The 19 Overlord. 1 year, 4 months, 14 days, 23 hours. Not the hours. Oh, that was for deer. But no, that's makes more sense. Because I feel like Zenith has been here for a long time. Oh, damn. Yeah, a whole year, 4 months is a long time. Thanks for jogging my memory. I'm glad I could help. I don't like directly remember you doing that like as a joke, but I do know for a fact that you have been around longer than 7 months. Got here before you? That's insane. Okay. I feel like we have to be the Overlord. That's literally 19 Overlord 91. Not to pull out your full government name there. Okay. I'm gonna take that Jordo's theme popping off as confirmation that we should start as Overlord. Am I? I feel like, okay, I was slightly blurry. Okay. We're gonna be the Overlord. You are the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called Hero, whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole Overlord thing, if you're being quite honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil Overlord they expect. We're gonna subvert expectations. It's like all of those animes, or like light novels or whatever, where the main character gets isekai'd into a game as the villainess. But we're not gonna be the villainess. We're gonna change things. Was to check if I could speak in chat before following, just in case you're ever streaming at the same time as my friend. Oh, okay. I'd completely forgotten about all of that, Zenith. Alright. She's so cutie. The Overlord design is so cute. I'm like, I know someone we could raid. That's so fair. Yeah, everyone should be able to chat. I think as long as your account is like verified with an email address, you should be good. I don't know if I have the authentication of phone number turned on as well. I know a lot of my friends do because it's safer, but I also know there was some members of our community that did not have their account linked to a phone number, and I did not want to exclude them. She's an adorable evil Overlord. J-Chain, we're not gonna be evil, we're gonna be different. We won't be baited into being evil. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? Well, I don't want to be a tyrant. But that does unlock. We'll be nice. We'll be nice our first time through. I've watched one of those and another one where the person isekai'd is gay for the villainess and simps for her the whole time. Highly recommend that one. I've not actually, okay, so the closest thing I have actually read or watched of like isekai'd into the villainess is Scum Villain Self-Saving System, where the main character gets like transmigrated into a web novel that he liked, loved to hate, and hated to love, I think was his relationship with the novel. But he gets isekai'd basically into the role of the main characters of the web novels abusive teacher who was kind of one of the earlier villains of his story. One of the earlier ones, but also one of the most influential ones on his life. That was a wild experience, but I've seen a lot of like stuff about some of the villainess animes and they look really like a really good time. You're not like the other overlords, you have a Furby. Chat, I might be old enough to have owned a furry at one point, but I don't think I've ever owned a Furby. I know people my age that had Furbies, but I never had one. So maybe I will be baited into being evil if that was the thing that made me different. Go, my dark sister, overthrow that stupid lord and be the eviler overlord. Overlord really said, if I get isekai'd into the villainess story, I will be worse. I will be making the villainess worse. You tell them to take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. Exactly. The art in this game is so cute, by the way. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what, so we're absolutely getting attacked. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the overlord sure is great. My ass is getting murdered. My sister used to have a Furby. I love that for her. You have 9 of them? Collect them and love their freaky little adorable asses. That is so fair. I absolutely love the people who make like the long Furbies. I think those are so fun. I think it'd be cool to make one of those if I ever got my hands on one. Alright, we awake to a huge commotion outside. A hero has shown up and started totally murdering your soldiers. What the hell, guy? You rush out into the battlefield to confront this jerkwad. You curse at him and very rudely inquire his reasons for doing all this. The hero yells at you, demanding you return the maiden you're holding captive. I have a maiden? You don't know what he's talking about, but you can't forgive his actions. You do battle with the hero, but he has grown strong from cutting down your army. You are unable to defeat him. With decisive swings, he stabs and cuts you to pieces. You fall. You have failed your subjects. Oh. Rest in peace, gang. You spit curses weakly. You wish you'd been stronger. Maybe you were never suited to be the overlord in the first place. The truth was, you were never that much more powerful than the demons who served you. It was the title, the control that gave you strength. These are your thoughts as you are swallowed by darkness. Damn. Conquered Overlord End is crazy. Let's reset the stage. So we know how it ends when they're not a tyrant, so let's make them a tyrant. And not the oof. Alright, gang, are we feeling like a maiden actually? No, we can alternate because okay. Is this 41 different endings? Is it doing the math for me? I sure fucking hope it is. So we have 41 different endings we can go for. And I think if we just alternate, so like every other one will let... I'm overthinking. Let's just be the maiden. I didn't even know she existed. We conquered Best Buddy. Different Overlord, Zenith. Different Overlord. There's more than one Overlord out there, Zenith. Okay. You are a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You are told that you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day. Fated to be captured is wild. Because you are a beautiful young girl, demon overlords apparently love capturing those. You think of how you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity. Who knows? You are in church. You pray to your god, asking why you've been born into this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You are impatient. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you'd understand your role better if you were to just hurry up and get captured already. Oh, so we just fucking, like, kidnapped ourselves. That's actually really funny. You leave a note and venture forth to find a demon, just to, you know, see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. Let's be polite. You missed the Furby? Sounded like a Cartman from South Park. That is interesting. Love that for you and your sister. Like to capture massive hunks with the dad bods? What's this false propaganda? Different Overlord. Overlord, are you saying you're a demon as well? Alright, let's do the polite path. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting. A lot. How painful. Not them just fucking gnawing. This plan of yours was completely stupid. You think... Oh, this plan of yours was completely stupid, you think. Why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything. Of course. This was all your fault for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Bit by bit, you are swallowed by the demon until you are no more. Getting bored 25 minutes into stream is gotta be a new record. I don't think I've ever done that before. Okay, consumed maiden end is so funny. Let's just turn everything off. All the stuff off and go through things. I love this little creature. You are a demon underling, in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She's surprisingly cool with it. Nice. You set out on your adventure outside the castle. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. You consider your options. The hungry option is gobble her up. We know how that ends for her, at least. He's a bitey little guy, isn't he? I love him. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she started talking to you like you're friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you because why is there conveniently only one language in the world? If demons and humans have independent societies, wouldn't it make sense for them to each have their own language, not us all speaking common? The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. She sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. We'll save ourselves. You look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known as far back as you can remember. You feel glad not to be in their shoes. You also feel guilty to be thinking that as you flee the castle, until you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing is expected of you. Oh, sick. Maybe you'll start a new life far away from any humans or demons, where you'll live peacefully, alone, in some deep dark forest somewhere. Sick. That wasn't that bad. Okay. Let's go through as the hero. Let's make the maiden polite. Fight the hero. We can go through and do that one again and try to fight back. Happiest ending so far, truly. But hey, that's just a theory. A game, not the game theory. Alright. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures, fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped, and is likely being held captive at the nearby Demon Overlord's castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. But the demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. know how the story goes if we do that, but let's flee like a coward. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. But you can't return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. You'll take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all. This is your job. Oh, so we're getting killed. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. We'll ask if they'll let us in. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here. They stare you down, and you feel very uncomfortable. But they seem to trust you, and escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. The Overlord and Maiden seem to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Hey girl, what's going on? The maiden explains that she was never actually captured, and that she came here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you, to reassure everyone of her safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You try to make conversation with the maiden, but she's been pretty quiet since leaving the Overlord's room. Is she shy? She suddenly stops in her tracks, and you turn your head to ask what the deal is. Oh. The Overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. Why? You can't help but feel relieved you got the maiden out of there when you did, but... She suddenly takes off towards the burning castle. Panic sets in and you follow to try to stop her. The smoke is so thick, you've already lost sight of her. What is she thinking? It's too dangerous to continue. You feel hopeless. You stand alone at the castle gates. Your body won't allow you to take another step forward. No, going in there would be suicide. You'll return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. That's wild. I thought for sure we found bystander hero in to be. Okay. Oh, the hero has so many different options. Okay. Oh, I can turn multiple things on. Okay. Okay. Do we just want to run through the hero and then do all the different versions? I think we could do that. Okay, you are the hero. Yeah. Oh, I can just skip through until the options. Okay. I'm gonna make the same option there. Be diplomatic here, but then do the heroic thing here. You lunge forward, driving your blade through the evil Overlord. She screams, then falls silent. The Overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. Oh, she is horrified. She takes it, after slight hesitation. She must be surprised at how strong you are. You escort the maiden home. She's oddly quiet on the trek back to the village. She must be too shy to speak. Not the smug-ass face covered in blood. The villagers are very pleased with what a good job you've done, slaying the Overlord and saving a hostage. They throw a huge celebration in your name. You are remembered for generations as the greatest hero the village has ever seen. Oh, sick. Okay. I thought maybe there might have been something different there. Her behavior doesn't... Oh, it's just about the underling's day off. Okay. Overlord slain. No, best buddy. Different overlord. Why am I celebrating my own demise? Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Okay. So let's let you be hungry. Wait. Okay. And we'll play again. Yeah. We're the hero. We're gonna slaughter all the evil creatures. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. Oh wait, we know this already. Okay, we're gonna cut through them. You gather your courage. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. These are all evil demons anyway. The world is much safer with them gone. Best buddy ordered Uber Eats with DoorDash and Pizza Hut. Are y'all having pizza together? Together yet apart. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your way to the Overlord's chambers. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. She feigns ignorance, a convincing act, but you won't be fooled. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? If you can see only one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You've become strong from the hordes of demons you took down before this final battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you. You cut her to pieces. The Overlord has fallen. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within the walls. It's just as you suspected. She must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world, but what does that matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the Overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape to bring back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. Failed hero. Rest in peace. Okay. Let's do all that the same. But we're not eaten by the underling. We'll try that. Okay. So we're going to save the maiden. We're going to kill everyone. Cut through the army. Okay. This is also this. You can't see anything sinister happening. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Is this gonna be the same? She explains that she came here on her own and was never in any danger. Okay. You don't know how to respond. The Overlord moves past you and out the door to see her army in lifeless, bloody piles. She's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero. It's all just a big misunderstanding? You hope she'll let this whole thing slide if you could just explain yourself. You really try, but the Overlord is inconsolable. She tears you apart, and the maiden watches in silence. As you die, you can't help but think you probably deserved this. Not that you probably deserved this. She'll order a medium pepperoni with Diet Coke. Are you sharing with chat, Overlord? I hope your pizza is good, though. Nico, welcome in. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Okay. I feel like I'm zooming through this. We got 7 endings already? Well. I gotta do a little bit of math. Okay, so there's 41 endings. That means... everyone... Wait, so there's 41 endings, so if they're evenly split up, everyone has at least 10 endings and one person has 11. Doing good. How are you? I'm so glad to hear that. I'm doing pretty good myself. It's my favorite month of the year, and today has been significantly cooler. My windows have been open all day, so it's very nice. Okay, let us play out. We never played her again. All right, let's play her. Have the hero be diplomatic. Okay, underling is not hungry. Come join us then. It's a best buddy pizza party. Mel, you're coming. It's not an invitation. It's a requirement. Oh, all right. Talking about pizza, now I want some. I don't know what it is about pizza. It's also one of the foods that I'm like the most frequently willing to risk having a stomach ache for. I don't know what they put in it. I think I just really like cheese. I think that's what it is. Also, pepperonis are a vibe every time. Okay, we're a maiden. We've been told our whole lives that our destiny is to be kidnapped by a demon overlord, and we're like, oh, that's weird, that doesn't really happen. Anyway, we went to church, we prayed about it, and then we were like, you know what, I'm tired of waiting. Let me go kidnap myself. Let's introduce ourselves. And yeah, okay. The demon doesn't seem to have really been listening to you, which is a little irritating. They agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you are introduced to the Overlord. She lectures the underling that brought you here, who was apparently told not to leave their post. Oh, so the underling leaves regardless. You wonder what cruel punishment awaits them. But to your surprise, she lets them off easy. The underling is dismissed, and the Overlord turns to you, looking very interested. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. Turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens, or to do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out, and something awful would happen. Then a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. I died and have to restart the boss fight? Rest in peace. Good luck, dear. Good luck. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying and talking with her more. Guys, this is Yuri. The game are you playing? I'm pretty sure Dear Dreams is playing Final Fantasy. Probably the online one. I think that's 14. The Final Fantasy 14 online, I think. I don't know. They said earlier. I forgot. The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little, you realize they might not be the ruthless monsters you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving the humans any excuse to send a hero out after them. You realize that must be why you'd never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You've always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans. You may be different, but really, they're just trying to live their lives the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I've said was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. It is Yuri! As you think that, a hero enters the room. Yuri? Nice. I love when the girlies are in love, truly. You're surprised to see him at first, until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. You apologize for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez. The hero asks if you'll return to the village with him to give everyone the news of your safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you give her a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon. You're about halfway back to the village when you feel something is off. Unable to shake your concern, you look back over your shoulder. You stop in your tracks. The castle is engulfed in flames. Is the Overlord all right? You can't return to the village like this. You have to know. You have to be sure everyone is safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. It's Yuri and the hero killed Overlord? Homophobic. That's what I'm saying, Zenith. That is what I am saying. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fist against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. You start to cough. The smoke is too thick. You can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now. You desperately head toward the stairs to save yourself. But the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke. A maiden saving the Overlord? If you had just stayed true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Rest in peace to the maiden, selfless maiden Ind B. I keep getting Ind B, but is the difference really in we'll have him be dutiful, but then leave the Overlord alive. And then we'll do it again. We'll run it back. Okay. Yeah. We just went through this. We'll shout for a hero to come save us. You yell, but a hero does not come. The demon is put off by your sudden shouting and asks you to keep it down. You apologize. They seem more confused than hostile, which totally catches you off guard. Yeah, they're just a little guy. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. Yeah. I want to be kidnapped. I had Yuri times with the demon Overlord, and now the hero's here to ruin it. Couldn't type until after the fight, but it's Final Fantasy 14. Sick. I just know usually that's like the one people play when they're talking about playing Final Fantasy. It seems cool though. It does seem very cool. His clothes are stained by a dark liquid. It's dripping from his weapon too. You realize it must be demon blood. Something horrible has happened. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The Overlord has walked past the hero and out into the hall. She's wailing. You can only guess what kind of horrible scene he's left for her. Damn. Murder hobo arrives, truly. I guess after this, we gotta go full murder hobo with the hero and have him kill everyone and see what's up with the maiden after that. It's very fun and addicting. I believe it. I have a few friends that stream the game or have in the past, and it's been very fun to watch them play. I don't know if I would ever get super into it, just because the way I play games is not very conducive to a subscription format. especially when it's not like a game that I'm regularly streaming, then it's like I'll play it like a couple of times a week or like once every couple of weeks. Or there'll be a period of time where I play it nonstop for like 2 months and then I don't touch it for a few months. Like, that just doesn't really work for games that you have to like pay on a subscription for. But I guess you could always just go like take it month by month, because I have some friends that do that as well. Anyway, the Overlord tears the hero apart in retaliation. You watch silently, unable to scream. The Overlord, who you had just been getting along with so well, has killed another human right in front of you. It's clear now that you had been deceived by her sweet words. Demons are ruthless monsters after all. You somehow manage to slip past the Overlord and make it out of the blood-soaked castle. You never look back. Oh. Escaped maiden. Oh. Okay. So what if the hero is also heroic? What then? What then indeed? We'll be polite. Okay. The hero suddenly dashes toward the Overlord, sword drawn. I can protect her? That's so Yuri-ful. You selflessly throw yourself in front of the hero's blade, acting as a shield. It's funny, you think. You never could have imagined this would be the way that you die. The roles are all switched around, but it feels right to you somehow. You are glad your destiny turned out to be saving someone rather than being saved yourself. As your vision fades, you hope that everything turns out all right for your new friend. Damn. Well, let's run that back and see. Damn. Met Overlord, spent like maybe a day with her, down bad enough to be a martyr. If that's not true love, I don't know what is. Currently in the playing nonstop for months phase, I might cool down once I've reached the current end of the story, but I might also then just dive into trying out different classes. That is so fair. You see, that if Baldur's Gate 3... I don't know what I was gonna say with that. Because I was about to say, if Baldur's Gate 3 suddenly went as a subscription format, I don't know what I would do. I would be very upset. But also, like, Baldur's Gate 3 is one of those games where I do just keep replaying the story and trying out different classes. Or just trying out the same class over and over and over again. Yep, love, fight, goon. Not me making inspirational quotes at 23. Yep, love, fight, goon. Sounds like it ought to be somebody's, like, bio. That's somebody's, like, Twitter bio or some shit like that. Alright, let's run it back. But this time, have sad times. So what happens if I do nothing? The hero's blade pierces the Overlord, and she lets out a horrible scream. You flinch. The Overlord is slain. The hero smiles and holds out his hand to you, saying it's time to go home. Just play as a monk over and over again. And you know what? I love it. I love that for you. I play as a bard almost exclusively when it comes to tabletop D&D, or like me actually playing D&D, and I think 50% of my Baldur's Gate 3 games are as a bard. It's to the point that I think my friends just assume I'm going to be a bard in any Baldur's Gate D&D-esque thing. The only reason I wasn't a bard in Dragon Age is because it's not a bard in the sense that I think a bard is, and it's just a rogue subclass, which is cool, and it does still do like a lot of the support things, but I want to be casting spells and throwing fireballs. Mintus has been hitting very differently lately. Oh, with her swimsuit skin. Love that for you. Love that for you. Oh, I gotta get back to playing Marvel Rivals, because I bought the Battle Pass, because I really like that elf Loki skin with like the fall vibes. They made that just for me. Alright. His glove is drenched in blood. Hesitantly, you take his hand. The hero guides you through the castle, past the corpses of his enemies. You try to keep your eyes at your feet. There's blood everywhere. You shut your eyes, but even then, you can't escape the smell. All of this was because of you, wasn't it? You exit the castle, and the hero leads you back to the village. Everyone celebrates the hero's great triumph over the demons. You feel sick, but you take part in the festivities regardless. Damn, not the guilt. Complacent maiden is wild. Okay, what if you are not dutiful? You're diplomatic, but you're still heroic. So you don't kill everyone else, but you still kill the overlord. How is the poor maiden gonna handle that now? Will be nice. Okay. As you think that, the hero enters the room. The hero suddenly dashes toward the overlord, sword drawn. Okay. We'll do nothing, because I think that's where the difference is. She lets out a horrible scream. You flinch. That's the same. The overlord is slain. Covered in blood. Okay. Wait. But he didn't kill people. This is the same. So even if he doesn't kill all the demons, you still get the same ending. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. Let's get martyr ending. And now let's do this. Let's do this from the demoness. Thought you'd have loved that Luna Snowdoroki skin. I think it's really funny that it quite literally is just like Todoroki vibes. I do think it's funny. I do enjoy that skin as well. Harpy Loki is pretty good too. They really said, give it a feminine, beautiful man, make him an elf, and then also make him very October, November coded. Like, they made that for me specifically. Bard in Final Fantasy is weird because it's like an archer class, but also you do get an instrument you can play in game, and I frequently see people doing what I refer to as MMO bullshit with them, like having concerts where they actually play popular songs. That is so cool. That sounds really fun. I would be a bard just to do MMO bullshit, honestly. I want to play as a tiefling who made a deal for incredible fire magic from a super nice fire demon, so my fire attacks don't feel like super powerful and just feel normal. I'm looking forward to a new D&D campaign. Overlord, my friend Keegan, friend of the channel, pops in sometimes, plays League of Legends with us. He is putting together a little D&D campaign, and I'm playing as a bard with a homebrew subclass called the College of Anti-Riz. And my whole shtick is that I'm a bard that's bad at being a bard. And, like, they're really shy, they don't do well under pressure, they have terrible charisma. And I love it. We haven't started playing yet, but I absolutely love it. Moon Knight became a clinker in that final skin? That's wild. Not the robot racism. College of Anti-Riz is insane, isn't it? Isn't it? I've had this idea to do a bard that's bad at being a bard for years, but I just never felt like super comfortable forcing that kind of bad character on a group of people. But this time I'm like playing with a group where everyone involved I feel like I'm pretty good friends with. And so I was like, hey, how would y'all feel if I just did a bard that was bad at being a bard? And they were like, that sounds fun. You should do it. And Keegan actually found the Anti-Riz college, and it fits so well. But it's really funny because one of the things about it is it gives you this ability where, like, every once in a while you pop the fuck off. So that's kind of fun. Personally, I think Red Mage is kind of more bard-coded, at least swords bard-coded, because you're a caster who also fights with a rapier and have fancy, flouncy outfits and jump around while you fight. One of my real life, like in real life friends has always been very red mage coded to me because she has talked about loving the red mage class. That's so fun. I can say it though, I have robot friends. Your air fryer, Zenith, that's crazy. Also, when I say MMO bullshit, I say that affectionately. I love logging in to see some MMO bullshit. No, that's fair. I kind of figured it was affectionately. I remember, so I guess this was, it was either it was last summer, 2024, when we did the Arrow Ace raid train. One of the people on that raid train, their stream was going to a pride parade in old school RuneScape. And it looked so fun. It looked so fun. People were just walking through Lothering, typing "Happy Pride." It looked so cool. I love when people do silly shit like that in games, in multiplayer games. Red Mage, Best Mage. I love it here. I love that for you. Not Zenith becoming friends with a clinker. That's crazy, Overlord. College of Anti-Riz is so funny. Isn't it? I am very excited about this character. Okay, we know all about the Overlord. She's a hot baddie that's actually not that bad. We'll tell them to go back to work. You give them a lecture about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. Your servants ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. We're being horrible, but like, she's so cute. How are we supposed to take this seriously? They look really unhappy with you, but you're sure they'll thank you for this later. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. You dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice and comfy Overlord bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. You fall asleep pretty quickly. Just another one of your amazing talents as the Overlord. I kind of am obsessed with the idea of falling asleep quickly being a talent. It is not one that I possess, that's for sure. Okay. Krabik, welcome in! How are you? I hope you're doing well. Okay. We awake. The underling from earlier brought back some company. You thought you had told the underling to do their job, not drag strangers into your room. Looks like they took an unauthorized break away from the castle. You scold them, but ultimately you're a little interested in this guest, so you let them off easy. That underling's not so bad. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient, thinking about her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her you have never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. Had eye contact with Cave Town today? Wait, did you go see him in concert? Or was just this an in the wild experience? Either way, that is very cool. Familiar bond with and might consider a pet would be a Roomba. I think it's really funny how people, like, they don't really humanize their Roombas, but they treat their Roombas like an actual pet, and I think that's really silly. But also, I don't know if there's a lot of Roombas like this, but I do know there is a partnership with Black Butler where they basically made a Roomba that role plays as Sebastian Michaelis. Like, has voice lines and everything. Like, the fucking Roomba talks to you, which is wild. So at a Pierce the Bell concert, and he was opening. Krabik, I am insanely jealous. That's so cool. Saw him when he walked out of the concert. That is so cool. I hope you had a good time. That sounds really fun. Pierce the Bell is one of my favorite bands of all time, and has been for like 13 years. And I do enjoy a bit of Cave Town. Guess who managed to rip a vocal Um, so I had never considered the possibility of ripping vocal cords. Unless that's what happens when you lose your voice. I was screaming my lungs out to hell above when my voice just stopped. That's horrible. I hate that. Rest in peace. I hope it heals up quickly. I also hope you're not in like a lot of... That sounds like it would be painful. That's awful. Rest in peace. I hope your throat heals up. Your vocal cords do all right. That sounds awful. It's more just uncomfortable. You know, I never, like, I know they're muscles. I never considered the possibility of being able to, like, rip them for your vocal cords. That's wild. Okay. She insists that she stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. Overlord, thanks for the posture check and the stretch and the hydrate. Everybody hydrate. Take care of your throats, please. Feels like something being stuck in your throat. That's miserable. I hope it heals very quickly, Krabik. Quickly and heals smoothly. I'm gonna let her stay for a while. But then we can come back and be antisocial. Zena, thank you for the stretch and the hydrate and the posture check. Okay. Oh. But like doing the antisocial one will probably unlock more stuff for the maiden. Alright, we'll let her stay for a while. Because that was my intention. We have to be Yuri. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not at all what she expected them to be. You are glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kind of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans, as not to agitate them and get heroes sent out after you. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. You're surprised to hear her thank you. You've always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed, despite your efforts to leave them alone. Hug licking, that goes for everyone too. Drink your fucking water, everyone. Yes, being well hydrated is hot. We love to see it. Everyone should be well hydrated. Two of you are having a slumber party? What movie series are you marathoning? What should the Overlord, the Demon Overlord, and the Maiden watch? That's a good question. What are they marathoning? My go-to right now is Lord of the Rings. Because that's a slumber party marathon that I've been trying to plan with a friend for a while. I feel like it keeps coming up on streams. You know, it'd be really funny if they were watching a lot of those, like, villainous animes. That's what I was going to say. That's so funny. Everyone's just out here marathoning the Lord of the Rings movie with their Yuri-ful Overlord Demoness and the Maiden. But this Maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time, and that you were actually super evil all along. The Maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. You notice the sounds of battle have started ringing through your castle halls. The Maiden is getting nervous, but you reassure her it's only your underlings' roughhousing. No big deal. You know it's probably a hero, but you don't want to upset the Maiden by telling her that. Your army will take care of it. It isn't long before the hero bursts into your room. But he shouldn't have made it here. Why didn't they stop him? The hero just stands there, unsure of himself. He is covered in demon blood. As the maiden speaks to him, trying to explain the situation, you move past the hero and out the door. You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn about your castle has really taken it out of you. That hero did this? There's so much blood. Why? Did he come for the maiden? Did he think she needed rescuing? There was no one for this hero to save here. There was never any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why has it turned out like this? The maiden shouts something behind you, and you turn just in time to see her throw herself between you and the hero's blade. It pierces her chest and she falls to the floor, lifeless. As the pool of blood beneath her grows, so does your rage. This hero has taken everyone from you now. You lose control, and the hero is obliterated. Wouldn't mind being captured by you. Oh boy, I've read this kind of fanfic before. No, the maiden is absolutely in love. Absolutely in love. Like a slumber party and watching I Love the Blushing Villainess. 12 episode anime series and wondering about a second season sounds nice, doesn't it? And we're absolutely popping off out here. We're popping off out here with the Doomed Yuri. You're so right, Overlord. But your hatred for the humans has not yet been sated. You go on to destroy them all and become ruler of the entire world. Oh. Well, good for her. Vengeful Overlord and A. Good for her. Okay. But what if we don't let her be a martyr? Alright. Let's run it back. We'll give them the day off, and it's gonna be so Yuri-ful. Tell her to stay for a while. You feel a sudden sharp pain through your back. You look down to see a blade protruding from your chest. Ah, that was careless of you. So this is how you die. Stabbed in the back by some cowardly hero. What a joke. You're supposed to be the ruthless one. That's right. Humans can't be trusted. Not if this is what they're capable of. Does she think the maiden was bait? And that this was planned? You should have remembered that before letting one in. My doomed Yuri! You watch as the hero takes the maiden's hand, leading her through the sea of corpses he'd left in his wake. Captured by a demon. At least she got what she came here for. Not her calling the hero a demon. You join your army in eternal slumber. Damn. Damn. Okay. We'll take the heroic out, make him diplomatic. Have her be polite, and then we're gonna try the antisocial option. Me wearing brand new Pierce the Bell t-shirt and brand new Cape Town hoodie. That sounds so cozy. That sounds so cozy. Congrats on ruling the world. At this point, I think I would prefer a demon overlord. Especially one as chill as her. Like, she would... So, I'm gonna be so real. I'm not up to date on world politics for every country. But in the US, she would be a great improvement. And that's all I'm gonna say. Lest we all end up on a watch list. Fuck the hero. No, exactly. Exactly. He's so stinky nasty, and for what? Alright, we're gonna give our... This shall not be the Yuri-ful run. We're gonna tell her she better go home. You'd love to have all the conversations in the world with your new friend, but having a human girl here will definitely cause trouble. Oh, she's so mad! You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost. But the maiden turns out to be very stubborn. You don't want to hurt her, but you also really want her to leave in case something bad happens. This whole situation is just asking for trouble, you think. Against your better judgment, you let her hang out for a little while longer. Okay, yeah, that's the same. Interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time, it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden, who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? That's it. That's the I love the blushing villainess storyline. Is it? Is it the exact same storyline? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. After everything is explained, the hero expresses his relief that the whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. Guys, I think it's mutual. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. I can keep her here? The maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. I'd like to see you try. You have no choice. You destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She's frightened. You don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. You take a step toward the maiden, and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. She wanted to stay here with you. The hero was trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now on. Guys, the Hiri can also be toxic. Fuck that hero. Truly, I think it's so funny that we have all decided we hate the hero because he gets in the way of the Yuri, and I think that's very beautiful of us because it's kind of funny. Because I've existed in a lot of fandom spaces where a lot of fans are like, yeah, fuck that one female character because she gets in the way of the yaoi. So having that little like table flip moment, very silly. The hero is very dumb. No, truly. Truly. Couldn't he see that possessiveness was not danger? It was just being down bad. And you know, that's on him if he couldn't see that. Alright, let's reset the stage. Keep everything the same, but let them go. So we're skipping. Tell her to go home. And then we'll let them go. What changes? Sakura moment. Oh, yeah, from Naruto? Yeah, I was like, what do you mean Sakura moment? I've not seen all of Naruto, but she does nothing like these characters. No, yes, Sakura moment. Also, Lady Elizabeth from Black Butler. Although, I will say, that's not really, like, a big problem anymore. I'm not in the Naruto fandom, so I do not know if people have swapped up on Sakura yet. She was cool. She has a good design, I will say. Beat the boss and only died because I didn't understand the battle mechanic once. Oh! At least you beat the boss! I love that for you. Congratulations. Okay. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust in that, you decide. With the hero and maiden gone, you plop down into the comfort of your luxurious overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while, until your door slams shut. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed by flames. What's going on? You try to escape, but something's blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out. Are you being usurped? They have zero foresight. What castle will they rule from if this one burns? You don't want to believe that your underlings have betrayed you, but this is no accident. Those ungrateful bastards. You choke on the thick black smoke from the fire. You can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them in hell. Damn. Wait, so it's... Okay. So we have more endings to get as an underling. Okay. I already have 15 endings. Look at us. I feel like we're zooming through this game. Personally, never watched Naruto, even though I've cosplayed Itachi more than once. That's wild. You know, I think it's perfectly fine to cosplay from things that you've not seen, especially if you're doing it with people, because cosplay is, while it is, like, a way that people can show off, like, their passion for things that they love, it's also a very social hobby, I would say. Me personally, though, I'm terrified to cosplay from something I've never actually watched. There used to be a point in time where I wouldn't even cosplay from stuff unless I finished something, which led to me binging Welcome to Night Vale because I had made plans to cosplay Cecil and Carlos with one of my closest friends. And a week out from the convention, I was like, oh, I have 7 days to listen to 70 episodes of Welcome to Night Vale. And I did that shit. Binged the entire everything I had left just so I could be caught up. Just so that, like, if anyone wanted to, like, talk about Welcome to Night Vale with me, because I'm cosplaying Welcome to Night Vale, I wouldn't have to worry about spoilers, and I could actually hold a conversation. Which is really funny, because I never really talk to people that I don't know, other than, like, you look really pretty, or, like, your costume's really cool. So I don't know why I'm, like, feel like I always need to be prepared, because, like, girl, you don't even talk to people. What are you worried about? Kind of ass at the game, so dying at least once per new dungeon is pretty normal. At least it's not a raid. I die so frequently in those that I'd end up getting pity player commendations from people being like, oh, sweetie, you tried, have a sticker. Damn. So is Final Fantasy, and I'm not asking this to be like, wow, you're bad at video games, but is Final Fantasy, like, super hard, like Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Elden Ring level of super hard, or is it, like, on a different kind of scale? Is it one of those games that people play to challenge themselves? Nope. Okay. Sakura is the yaoi roadblock. So I've not watched a lot of Naruto, but I still think it's fucking crazy that Sakura and Sasuke ended up together. What do you mean? That makes no sense. God, no, I'd never be able to play a Souls-like game. Okay, honestly, same. I don't think I have the kinds of patience for that. That's why I'm not gonna play Hollow Knight ever. I just wanted to, like, gauge how the difficulty of Final Fantasy. Okay. So we are going to be the underling. Okay. You're a demon underling. In the service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She's surprisingly cool with it. Hell yeah. Hollow Knight is Metroid Xvania. I feel like I read that. I know it's a platformer, but it's also, like, one of those. Hollow Knight, so I have a classification of video games that, unfortunately, all the, like, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, all that fall into, plus Hollow Knight. And that is games that are very difficult, and people who play them are playing them specifically for the challenge of the difficulty. And I personally think they're masochists, and I don't have that kind of patience to play a video game. mean, like, comparing Hollow Knight to those other games, even though they're, like, different kinds of games. The high-level Savage raids are, like, super grindy and hard from what I've heard, but they're entirely optional. That's fair. That's fair. I'm glad they're optional, because, like, when a game gets super grindy and difficult, I do not find that fun. I can enjoy a little bit of, like, grindy video game, if only it's for, like mining in Minecraft, I feel like is very, Minecraft gets very grindy, but it's a kind of grindy that's, like, turning your brain off and just, like, doing something, usually while you're, like, watching a show or, like, talking to friends or something else. Let's say category hard. Yeah. Game type, difficult. Love Metroidvanias. My favorite is always going to be Castlevania. Alucard is my boy. Well, you know, it sounds like Castlevania is a pretty solid one. I've never played the Castlevania games, but I did watch the first 2 seasons of the, like, Netflix anime. Pretty good stuff. I have no idea if it's actually related to the games or not. I'm pretty sure they are. Pretty sure they are. I hate when games make grinding necessary. I find that when it really, like, annoys me is when progressing the story is locked behind meaningless grinding, which is why I quit playing Genshin Impact. I had, like, so Moya used to be really into Genshin Impact when we were still in college, and they got me interested in it, and it took me, like, years to get through the prologue, so I'd play, like, a little bit at a time and then not touch it for several months. But then I've still not finished the prologue, because I got to a point where it was like, hey, if you want to continue the story, you gotta go, like, explore the world and get your levels up so you can, like, continue the story, which annoyed me because I was only interested in the story. I didn't care for the gameplay. I was trying not to get too into it because I knew if I got too into it, I would want to spend money on the gacha element of that game, and we can't be having that. You should play them. Symphony of the Night is my absolute favorite. I will see if I can get my hands on any of them. There's only one raid you're required to do, and I learned after that one to research the raid mechanics first because I didn't understand what was going on the whole time and ended up getting so overstimmed and upset at how bad I was doing that I had a meltdown. Understandable. Understandable. I've had moments like that with video games as well. In Souls, like, the story is optional. That's fair. You know, some of my favorite video games don't have stories, like Animal Crossing, Minecraft, but I will say more often than not, I would rather have a story in a game. They're free if you have an emulator. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm pretty sure they were, like, console-only games. I don't mind emulating, but also, like, if there was a way for me to legally get them on the consoles that I have, I wouldn't mind looking into it. But also, I have a modded 3DS, so there's a lot of things, I can work with that a lot. I think some of the Castlevania games might have been, like, Game Boy Advance games. I could definitely work with that. Alright. Set out on our adventure outside the castle. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She greets you and says she has a favor to ask. You consider your options. What if I just gobble her up? Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought, and feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. The people are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet, I say, covered in blood. Let's put on a show. You attack the nearest human. He is old and weak, and his bones crunch delightfully. Your audience's screams grow louder. Applause. You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking the villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running toward you. He takes you out in one swift blow. You're just a demon underling after all. As you die, you think, that was totally worth it. The curtain closes. That was so silly. One good thing about Final Fantasy XIV is that it is a constant thing that you're going to be over-leveled for the main story. Like, for example, I'm currently 14 levels over what I should be, and now I think I'm kind of curious how close I can get to the max level cap before even starting the next expansion. That's wild. That's very wild. Some of them are. The best one was a PlayStation exclusive, but then it was added to Xbox. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Honestly, humans have no manners at all. They should be ashamed. Exactly, J-Train. Just a little guy shows up and you're gonna throw rocks at him? Ignore that he's covered in blood. And also a demon. Easy to emulate. I remember playing Symphony of the Night on my computer during English class. Sick. That's fun. I'll look into that. I'll look into that. Throw rocks at he. I can't believe the performer underling in. That's so goofy. Okay, let's run it back. I want to try to unlock some other options. Okay, let's hear her out. You're in a good mood today and are rather curious about what the maiden has to say. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it would even be possible to understand each other before now. The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. Bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard, and you ask them what their deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out, and being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead?" Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. Oh, okay. Even demons need nappies? Exactly. So true. Okay, so this is how Girly Pop dies. We'll start with the disloyal. Let's kill the Overlord. You tell them you were just joking and clarify that you're totally in it to win it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Damn, not my entire demon friend group saying you're not funny. Stop trying to be funny. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'd be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of faux confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. That could go wrong in so many ways. You died again? You will be. I'm sorry. I was curious. Cause like, why did it suddenly go up in flames? Like, what is going on? You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on, and while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You really didn't want it to come down to this. But you can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. Oh no! They take off into the castle and are headed to the Overlord's room. Fuck. The Overlord will kill you for sure if she found out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars. Your friends soon arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you. They cry that it was all your idea and that they were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse your crazy plan. I can't believe they'd do that to me. You can't believe they'd tell the Overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. You all shout at each other until the Overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear your traitorous friends mutter something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. With everyone inside? Curse their sudden but inevitable betrayal. It's not like the game already told us this was happening. Okay. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and the two humans, and the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish he'd get that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You were forced to this mess. You're sure now that they would have killed you if you'd sided with her. But the Overlord doesn't hear your pleas. She drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it quick. Damn. Traitor underling end is wild. Alright, we're gonna run that back, but make a slightly different choice. Okay. We're gonna hear her out. Actually, she's not so bad. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you, but before you could ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? Their claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered. You already know how things like this end. This is a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. Damn. Faithful underling. Okay, we have one more path to take with the underling where we're gonna gobble her up, but we're gonna leave the village. Bite them, if only I could. You figure if people are this upset at just the sight of you, they won't fully appreciate any terrible acts you'd commit. Also, they might fight back, and that probably wouldn't end well. You're just one little underling after all. This little day out has been adequately refreshing. You return to the castle, thinking you'll take a nap. Okay, that's the same. She gets to the Overlord's room. She's taking a nap, like usual. This is almost too easy. You silently approach your master. She looks so peaceful. Time to die, girlie. You figure the cleanest way to do this would be to dig your claws into her throat, so you do just that. She wakes, but not in time to stop you. You watch as she chokes on her blood, cursing you, before finally expiring. That felt terrible. You remind yourself it was either her or you, and you weren't about to let yourself get killed by anyone. You leave the room to find your friends waiting just outside. They look pleased, only now do you realize they must have planned to use you like this from the beginning. You are the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you, as you had betrayed your Overlord. Dead again, but there's a new Overlord. Lord Underling and B? Alright, let's reset the stage. Let's run it through again, but do the coward option. Which, it should be the same. Okay. We'll chicken out. You don't want to kill her. You can't go through with it. You turn to leave the room, but you find your friends blocking the exit. In a panicked whisper, you ask them to let you out. This seems to have been their way of testing your loyalty. You tell them this is pretty fucked up and ask again to be let out. The Overlord stirs in her bed. While your head is turned, the demons shut the door. You scramble into the Overlord's closet to hide before she wakes up and sees you. There's nothing you could possibly say to explain this and survive. You're trembling. You can't believe those assholes would bully you like this. You feel like crying. Light flickers at your feet. It doesn't take you long to realize they've set the room on fire. You hear the Overlord trying to get the door open to no avail. You're both trapped. Too afraid to move, you resign yourself to your fate. You and the Overlord burn together. Damn. Okay. You could be hungry and disloyal and Curly Pop could be antisocial. And we'll play as the hero. It's been a minute since we've done a hero. Don't like the new 20 Overlord. Yeah. They're a little scummy. Alright, so the hero is a guy. Just a man. We'll be dutiful, I guess. Alright, quick work of the vile creatures, but we're gonna ask to be let in nicely. Monster before you is eyeing you with suspicion. They can't help but notice the demon blood from earlier you haven't had the chance to wash off yet. Whoops. You have no choice but to fight the army in self-defense. Oh well, more experience points for you. Oh, okay, so you can't be diplomatic and dutiful. You make your way through the castle, fending off all the demons that stand in your way. Alright, yeah. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. She feigns ignorance. Yeah, this is... If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You can see only one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured, but I don't think that did not happen. But thinking about the poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You've become strong from the hordes of demons you took down before this final battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you. Now I want to try this game for myself, so I just bought it. I enjoy it. When I was like trying to get a feel for how long this game was gonna be, if this was gonna be like a single stream thing, for some reason, Google kept showing me a bunch of people saying they hated the game. I was like, this doesn't even answer my question, but okay. But I really like it. I think it's cute. It's kind of fun to like figure out how to like get different endings as well, which I guess is the part of the puzzle. Because I was a little confused on like what the puzzle was gonna be when it said it was a puzzle game. But this is fun. I like this kind of puzzle. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within its walls. Just as you suspected, she must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world, but what does that matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. Yeah, great victory will be celebrated. Okay. Did I? Oh, I left the underling hungry. Alright, let's run it back. I'm gonna make all the same decisions just to see how Girly Pop reacts. Okay. You make it to the Overlord's chamber and hope you're still in time to save the maiden. Oh. Find the maiden being held captive by the Overlord just as you suspected. But for some reason, you can't sense anything sinister happening. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Hey, Girly Pop, what's going on? She explains that she came here on her own and was never in any danger. She hesitantly asks why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The Overlord moves past you and out the door to see her army in lifeless, bloody piles. She's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero. I'll all just a big misunderstanding. Hope she'll let this whole thing slide if you could just explain yourself. You really try, but the Overlord is inconsolable. Yeah, she tears you apart. Probably we've gotten that ending before. Okay. So we need to kill no one, flee like a coward, go diplomatically, and we're gonna ask the maiden what's going on, so that we can get the betrayal ending from a different perspective. Different endings and making slight changes to alter the story remind me of Slay the Princess. Okay, so we are playing Slay the Princess this month. I haven't purchased the game yet, but I don't know if we're gonna start it next week or the week after next. I think we're gonna start it next week. I think that game can be kind of long. Let me actually look this up right now. Slay the Princess game time. Oh yeah, 18 to 23 hours is like the approximate range for 100% completion. Where I don't know if we're gonna try for that. But it also says the first playthrough takes 3 to 4 hours. So I don't know. Because I also wanted to play Needy Streamer Overload. I think it's a psychological horror game. So, like, I think it kind of counts as well as, like, a good Halloween game. And I'm pretty sure that can also be done in one stream because it's, like, 2 hours. So, we can start Slay the Princess next week or the week after. I just want to give myself time to have, like, extra weeks to play it if we don't finish it all in one stream. Although, I guess, like, after October's over, we can still play it. But that was kind of what I was thinking. Okay, the maiden explains that she was never actually captured and that she came here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you, to reassure everyone of her safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You pause when you see a group of suspicious demons standing near the entrance. They're talking about assassinating their Overlord. This proves to you that demons really are foul creatures. We have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And those same creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle, and you have no choice but to follow. You burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by the group from the entrance, who shifts the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? Good ending unlocked? Maybe. I don't know. When we did this ending through the underling's perspective, the whole place was caught on fire. So we'll see if they all burn. You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your sword tightly. You have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety. You certainly will. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. She thrusts her claws into her underling's chest, and it lets out a horrible scream. You back away. You won't be the next target of her rage. She continues to dig and twist her claws into its limp body. You can no longer watch. You look to the maiden. She's crying, hands clasped together in prayer. To have faith in a time like this, you envy her. The two of you, the Overlord and the underling's corpse, are all consumed by the flames. Rest in pieces. Okay. Let's run it back as the maiden. Good rip apart 20 Overlord. She really did do all that, didn't she? Okay, we're a maiden in a village. We're gonna be nice, introduce ourselves, and we're gonna go meet up with our girlfriend. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude, you just got here. We're gonna refuse to leave. You put your foot down and tell her you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny, even if you have to make it happen on your own. She's a little frustrated at your stubbornness, but doesn't kick you out or anything. Hooray! The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little you realize they might not be the ruthless monsters you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving the humans any excuse to send a hero out after them. You realize that must be why you'd never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You've always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans. You may be different, but really, they're just trying to live their lives the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I've said was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all this time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. As you think that, a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first, until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. You apologize for causing trouble. But really, didn't anyone read the note you left? The hero asks you if you'll return to the village with him to give everyone the news of your safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you give her a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. But the hero shakes his head. He says that this is the true nature of demons. The world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? The demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle, and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised they were a part of this evil plot. They seem so nice. The other demons come in right after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You are relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think she is very Overlord-like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds on the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this. And thinking that must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. If you had just pretended not to hear them, if you left as you were told, only the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. The Overlord seizes her underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. But there's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are consumed by the flames. I do think it's very interesting that The hero keeps lumping himself in with the maiden, but she does not. She's like, girl, I don't know who you are, but we are not the same. Okay, so what happens if we leave when she tells us to? You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks you what you're doing. Don't you know the Overlord's castle is, like, right there? You explain everything that happened. The hero seems to think you're lying to him. He asks if you've been brainwashed by the demons. What nerve. You are very upset that the so-called hero would treat you this way, and leave in a huff. You return to the village alone. Everyone was very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions, and you tell them your story. As you explain that the Overlord never had any intentions to harm anyone here, you notice the looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You are loudly interrupted by an older man. He rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand. You've only told them the truth. Do they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating. Not the oof. Everyone begins speculating what must have actually happened. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of a hero, they ask. You could not have possibly escaped the Overlord on your own without harm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing they aren't the horrible creatures we know them to be, so they say. Have the people of your village always been this blinded by their fears and hatred of things they've never cared to know? You wonder how you missed that before. You are seized by the crowd, and voices from all sides are calling for public execution. You are to be burned at the stake. You don't want to die. You wonder, would it have been better to hide the truth? You don't like the thought of that. You have always lived honestly. So why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. They can only watch as you burn, and you can only cry for them. You are so sorry. Not getting burnt at the stake. That's crazy. That's wild. Okay. Let us play out this version of the maiden story. Yeah. We're a maiden, we're destined to be kidnapped, we want to get on with it. The hero is like, hey, let's go home. But she said no. The Overlord objects to the hero's suggestion. You tell her you plan on returning soon, but she isn't having it. You feel nervous. The hero puts on a brave face for you. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all. And if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You leave me no choice. The Overlord suddenly jumps the hero. She tears into him with her claws. You want to cry out, but the scream catches in your throat. You watch, because you can't look away. Had she really been lying to you all along? You wonder, is this your punishment for questioning the divine plan? The Overlord approaches you now. You back yourself into a corner. Her expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny after all. But the Overlord stops. Or rather, someone has stopped her? Whatever held back your scream before doesn't stop you this time. The Overlord is being ripped to shreds by one of her demon underlings. You think you recognize them, but it's hard to tell with all the blood. Everyone stopped moving now. The room is silent, save for the underlings' heavy breathing. You thank them for what they've done, even though it was awful. You feel you've been rescued from a terrible fate. They look at you, confused for a moment, but then puff out their chest. You should probably go home. This place is dangerous. You follow their advice and make your way out of the castle. You decide never to leave home again for the rest of your life. Oh, so that's the other escaped maiden. I don't think there's a happy ending. There's not. It's quite literally in the name of the game, but I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying. Okay, let's try that again, but without the disloyal. Okay. We're getting kidnapped. And the maiden, not the maiden, we are the maiden. We're getting kidnapped. The hero was like, hey girly pop, you're fine, but let's go home. Let everyone know. And the overlord said no. And then she killed the hero. She vows to keep you very safe from now on. You're afraid to find out what that means, but there's no one left to save you. You belong to the overlord now. Wow, toxic Yuri. Okay. Can I see how many endings I've gotten? Like, if I've gotten captured maiden B? I don't think I have. Unless it was from the other perspective. Anyway, let's turn that disloyal back on and play it back again, but from her perspective. We're just chilling, being a baddie. We're gonna be nice to our underling. And then we're gonna tell Girly Pop, we'll let her stay for a while. And when the hero says, hey girly, let's go home. No. Maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. Alright. We've read this earlier. As we were being toxic Yuri, something sharp pierces your back. The hero? No. He's already... It's one of your underlings. The maiden screams. Your servant tackles you, tearing you apart with their claws. You struggle to retaliate. They've done too much damage. You can barely move now. Your blood is everywhere. You can't believe this has happened to you. Why has this happened to you? You've been slain by your own underling. Damn. I've just realized all of the endings are Steam achievements. So I can see the names of what I've gotten. Well, yes, okay. Although, this gives me nothing. Okay. I don't know why I thought seeing the names of what I've unlocked already is helpful. Didn't say this before. Well, you look great. Thank you. Thank you. I was feeling silly goofy today. Alright. So what if she's obedient? You know what we've not played out? We've got to do the martyr from her perspective. Okay. We'll do that. Damn you, 20 Overlord, you killed me more than the hero at this point. That's just because we did a lot of the hero stuff like an hour ago, and now we're doing like a bunch of the other things. Alright, baddie is baddieing. We'll be nice. And we'll let her stay for a while, and we're gonna have a Yuri full time. But before you even know how to react, he makes his move, and the maiden makes hers. She used her own body to shield you from the hero's blade. Why? Why has this happened? The maiden falls to the floor, lifeless, as the pool of blood beneath her grows. So does your rage. This hero has taken something precious from this world. You lose control, and the hero is obliterated. But your hatred for the humans has not yet been sated. You go on to destroy them all and become Wait, we've gotten this one already. Oh. Did my stream crash? Rest in peace to my internet. I'm waiting for the clear that we're back, but my internet is fine on my side. This is fine. It'll come back on eventually. It'll come back eventually. Please. I think we've gotten this ending already. So of all the endings we had to happen on, glad it was a repeat. Forgot that we've done that already. Are we back? Is my internet still dying? Deceased? Are we... It did this last night as well, which was weird.
Discord.
Are we back? It's not just you then? Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with my internet. It did this last night where I was, which is weird because it like dropped in a way where I could not talk in the Discord VC I was in, but I could still hear everything going on. And then I also got kicked off the Minecraft server I was playing on. So I don't know, I guess like at some points my upload speed just fucking goes away. But I'm glad we're back. Guys, don't worry, that was a repeat ending that we lost internet on. Hi again, welcome back. Thanks for being patient. Did not realize my internet was gonna fucking die for a second. That's okay. We have not done the martyr from the hero's point of view. So let's do that. Right, we're a hero, we're gonna slay demons, but we're not because I'm trying to talk to the girly pop. Ask if they'll let me in. And we're gonna kill her. You lunge forward to put an end to this evil overlord, but your blade pierces the maiden instead. She has sacrificed herself to protect this demon. It takes you a moment to recover from the shock. The overlord wails. Why did you do that? You're not sure if the question is directed at you. The overlord strikes at you in a vengeful rage. You parry, and she is slain. Your sword feels heavy. You look at your hands, your clothes. Blood. So much blood. You look to the fallen maiden, wondering what to tell the townspeople. Why would she protect the overlord? She must have been brainwashed by demonic magic. You picked up the overlord's head, wrapping it in your cape, and begin your long journey back to town. You will say that you were too late, that nothing could be done for the girl, but the overlord is slain. There will be celebration. Damn. Loyal hero ending? Is that really loyal? I guess he's loyal to the cause, not to the girl. Whatever. Okay. Let's do possessive from the hero's point of view. So yeah. We gotta go save Girly Pop. We're gonna go save her. What's going on, girl? Never actually captured. That's crazy. Let's go home. But the overlord objects to this. The maiden tries to tell her that she'll come right back, but the overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous. As a hero, it's your job to mediate situations like these. You tell the overlord that if she doesn't let the two of you go, you will have to assume she's evil. You'll be forced to vanquish her. You leave me no choice. The overlord pauses before suddenly jumping you. You are helpless as she disembowels you with her claws. How horrible. You came all this way, only to be met with this cruel fate. You should have destroyed these evil creatures while you had the chance. Your dying wish is for the maiden to somehow make it out of this alive. Wild. Naive hero. Me too. Okay. Antisocial and obedient. So what happens when we run into Girly Pop on her way home? Okay, we're gonna flee like a coward. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back toward the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. As you approach her with curiosity, you ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is, like, right there? It's dangerous. The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. Yeah, I'll believe her story. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you. Even though her story is kind of hard to believe, you feel you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They had all been so worried. They praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for explanation. You politely inform them this isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being subtle in how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her, but to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town's elder's voice rakes you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately, and says they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together? Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her, and her demon friend's down already, but that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. You can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden toward the Overlord's castle. The air becomes dark and thick as you enter deep into the demon territory. Evil miasma? No, you realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she's stopped in her tracks. The Overlord's castle engulfed in flames. You had only taken an eye off the maiden for a second, but she's already disappeared. You get closer to the castle, but the smoke is so thick now, you think of turning back. The maiden might need your help, but you can barely see. She could be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Was this a trap? Would it be worth risking your life on that chance? Your legs feel heavy. No, going in there would be suicide. You'll return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. Maiden was claimed by the demons. Okay, that's just the same ending. Okay. But what if we do that again and don't believe her? Alright, she cannot be trusted. She's a witch. You weren't sure you should listen to this maiden. You've been taught your whole life that demons are evil. You ask if she's sure about all this, but she gets very upset that you think she would lie to you. She storms off before you can say anything else. You decide to return to the village, certain that she must have been kidnapped. Been the kidnapped maiden you were sent to rescue. Glad that took care of itself. You take your time walking home. Job well done today, you think to yourself. He did literally nothing. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly by as flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. She seemed nice, though, you think. But evil comes in all forms, you reassure yourself. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape this sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Rest in peace to the hero. Okay. We have 28 endings. Okay, so what if all right. How should we do this now? What if we do... Okay. I'm starting to forget what all we have and haven't done, if I'm going to be so honest. What if we could do obedient, antisocial, diplomatic, trusting, and then play through the underling again. We're just a little guy. Desync, stream don't die again. Oh! If you try refreshing it, maybe? You could maybe try refreshing it and see if that syncs it back up. I don't know what to do about that from my end. Alright, we're little guying again. We're gonna tell her to quit yelling. And we're gonna take her home. Alright. Let's kill her. Always terrible with jokes. You and your friends turn to notice the maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. It'd be bad for you if the Overlord found out about this. Toss her in the dungeon. You and your friends seize the maiden and bring her to the dungeon under the castle. It's empty, save for the decorative skulls. They're only there to make it feel more spooky. The maiden is very upset. You leave her in the cell to continue scheming with your friends. But now a hero has arrived at the front gates. He's asking about a maiden, perhaps the very one you just locked up. The gatekeeper, who must have seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. And they look so eager to be doing it too. What an idiot, you think. Why give the hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? The hero yells, "Prepare to face justice," and other such cliche hero lines before driving his sword into the gatekeeper's torso. You are small compared to a lot of your friends, so you're able to slip away without getting cut up by that sword. You get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might actually work out in your favor. You wait for things to die down outside before poking your head out. You spot the Overlord and the hero locked in battle. They've worn each other down, making this very easy for you. Once an opening presents itself, you hit the back of the hero's head, knocking him out. What are you doing? Couldn't you tell this was a duel? You don't respond. You have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her and rip her to shreds with your claws until she stops moving. You finish off the hero next. You can't let him revive and come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but it doesn't make any difference. Anyone who managed to survive comes crawling out of their hiding places. You are the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you, as you had betrayed your overlord. Okay. Right. We're gonna play that out from the maiden side. Playing and watching at the same time is overstimulating me a bit now, so I'm gonna dip out the rest of stream. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, dear. I hope you continue to have a good time playing Final Fantasy. Okay, we're gonna skip through her thing, but we'll be polite. And we'll obey. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks you what you're doing. You don't know the Overlord's castle is like right there. You explain everything that happened. He's very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. The two of you return to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. They had all been so worried and very glad that the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't rescued, because there was nothing to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers seem confused and look to the hero for an explanation. He tells them he only ran into you on his way to the castle, and that this isn't really his story to tell. You explain to them how you met the Overlord, and that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens or any other mean things like that. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. You feel a little miffed that they seem to prefer his word over yours, but you don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes your story, but volunteers to go talk to the demons himself, just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You hear words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. You're pretty shocked that everyone's this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. An old man implores the hero to go speak with the Overlord immediately. He says you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because, of course, If you were conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let their guard down. The whole village would be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed into a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. You can grab the hero and run? We'll leave on our own. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons stands just outside the entrance. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them and decide to lock you in the dungeon before you can cause any trouble. You cry out, but the demons ignore your protests. You can't believe you escaped. You can't believe you escaped possibly being thrown in a cell back in your village, only to be tossed in this awful place. This is terrible. Who's going to keep those demons from harming the Overlord? You hope she can fend for herself. You sure can't. You hear the sounds of battle echoing through the halls outside. Did the hero follow you? If he's out there, your cries don't reach him. After a while, the violence seems to die down. It's impossible to tell what's happened. You continue to wait, but no one comes for you. Unable to escape, you rot in that cell. Damn. Imprisoned maiden. Alright, let's run that back, but take Homeboy with us. So, let's see how that changes things. Grab the hero and run. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. We're talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. But the hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? The demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle, and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all of your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised that they were a part of this evil plot. They seem so nice. The other demons came in right after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. Okay, so this is the same ending that we had earlier, I think? Yeah. Nothing about that changed. Okay. How else? What if we make him hungry? Right? Alright, let me unselect everything. Okay. You can be dutiful. You can be obedient? Actually, let's run this. Let's run this from her perspective. Okay, girly pop, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen when you tell the girly to go home? Maiden does what she's told and takes her leave. Figure you may as well go back to bed now. But you don't get to rest for very long. You wake up to the sounds of a battle. A hero is cutting through your army. As the Overlord, it's your job to take charge of these kinds of situations. You rush out to end this hero's pitiful existence. Vile demons! I shouldn't have believed for a second that you were anything but pure evil. I'll exterminate you all. You don't really get what he's going on about, but you engage regardless. Girl's gotta defend her people. You clash again and again, but the hero isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health, waiting for the other to make a move, when one of your underlings appears behind him. They knock the hero unconscious. You kind of appreciate it, but can't they see this was a duel? They don't respond. You sense murderous intent. Your servant tackles you, tearing you apart with their claws. You struggle to retaliate. They've done too much damage. You can barely move now. Your blood is everywhere. You can't believe this has happened to you. Why has this happened to you? Been slain by your own underling. Okay, so that's the same. Okay. Do you guys have any combination ideas? I feel like we might have some more stuff on Overlord to unlock. So, what if we... Nope. Okay, alright. We can come up with something. What if we have him be hungry? Wait. Antisocial, obedient, trusting, diplomatic. And we play this from his perspective? Okay. Little guy's little guying. Let's gobble her up. Alright. We're gonna eat her. Does anything change about putting on a show? No. Okay. I don't know why I thought it would. Okay. Having her be a tyrant does not seem to impact a whole lot. Other than, like, it impacts them? Okay. Let's have him be a coward. Disloyal and a coward. Okay, let's just zoom through and see if that changes anything. Alright, let's tell her to go home. Oh, that's that changed nothing. Alright. Okay. We're at the puzzling part of the puzzle. So, okay. Let me look at my Steam achievements, because everything's color-coded. So, I think I can kind of see what we've gotten so far. I'm gonna write this shit down. Okay. So, we have the Overlord, we have the Underling, with the Maiden, and we have the Hero. I've gotten... Okay. I wish I could make this bigger. Okay, I have 29 of the endings thus far. 1, 2, 3. So I have Spectator Hero, Naive Hero, Loyal Hero, Resigned Hero. Do I only have... Oh, Tragic Hero, Failed Hero, Triumphant Hero, Bystander Hero. That's 8. I have 8 of the hero endings so far. I'm assuming there's like 2 more. I'm going to assume there's like 2 more. I think to unlock Overlord 4th option, you need Google. Overlord, are you just saying that? Or did you look it up and it's something that I'm not going to intuitively figure out? Okay. So, for the Maiden, we have the Consumed Maiden, the Selfless Maiden, the Escaped Maiden, the Sacrificial Maiden, the Complacent Maiden, the Devout Maiden, the Captured Maiden, and Imprisoned Maiden. So that's also 8. I think. Alright. Not Googling, but I think we stuck in a loop. No, 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 no. Trust. I'll figure it out. Trust. Luckily, this game lets you skip, so if we do get stuck in a loop, it'll be pretty quick. And then we can kind of work it out from there. Okay. So for the minion, we have Deserter Underling. And then we have Performer Underling, Traitor Underling, Faithful Underling, Lord Underling, Cowardly Underling. So that's 6. We have 6 for the Underling. And then Overlord, we have Betrayed, Burned, Selfish, Slain, Vengeful, Conquered. Okay. Does that add up? I'm about to add 8 plus 8 plus 6 plus 6 just to make sure my math is right. Wait a damn minute. I'm missing one. Okay. Imprisoned, captured, executed, devout, complacent, sacrificial, escaped, selfless, consumed. I have 9 for the maiden. Why did I have a gut feeling that's the one I miscounted? And I was right. We love to see it. Okay. Right. Overlord will figure this out. Trust. Trust. Okay. We'll have him be hungry. Can we be diplomatic? I just want to run this through the hair real quick to see if we even can, like, try to ask what's going on, even though the maiden gets eaten. I'm just curious. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. The Overlord says that she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever. At least, that she knows of. You think of how you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing as she's a demon and all, but you can't really prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Rest in pieces. Okay. Useless hero in. Right, alright, so let's reset the stage and play this from the Overlord's perspective. Alright. We are an Overlord. We're a baddie. We live in a castle surrounded by demon servants, and it's pretty cool. Except humans are gross, and they keep killing my army. There's even a role called Hero, whose whole purpose is just to dethrone you. What's our deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to this whole Overlord thing, if you're being quite honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil Overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to a higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? You tell them they can take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the Overlord sure is great. You are awakened by one of your underlings. A hero wishes to speak with you. He inquires about a maiden who is rumored to be here, but you've never seen her. Humans don't visit often, or ever, really. As the hero takes his leave, you wonder why he totally trusted you there. Heroes traditionally kill demons. This guy seemed like he was bad at his job, in your opinion. Whatever, you're still feeling sleepy, so you go right back to your nap. Oh. You hear voices in the hall. You aren't sure how long you slept. The sound of a shutting door forces you to awake. Yep, the burning ending. Okay. So, if we keep him disloyal. Disloyal but a coward, maybe? Let's try that again. Alright. Gets the day off. We go to sleep. The sound of a shutting door forces you awake. Okay, everything's the same. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is a loop, but we'll do it anyway. Underlings is tearing your throat out. You try to struggle, but you can tell you're already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You remember now. You gave this one a day off, and this is how it repays you? You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Damn. Oh, that was a new ending, though. Okay, Overlord is now up to 7 endings. Is there a way to save? I don't know if there's a way to save everyone, Overlord. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. Alright, let us... I wonder... Oh! Hey, wait. I know how we get another maiden ending, I think. We just have Homeboy kill us when we come back. Yeah, we're gonna leave on our own. Oh. That wasn't a new one. I also wasn't even reading. Wait a minute. Oh, no, yeah, it did go up too, because we did a hero one and we did a new one for her. Okay. Well, I lied. Giving him the hungry trait is so funny. Okay. We can do possessive and tyrant from Underling's point of view. Let's see if that changes anything. Gives you an earful about responsibility. Gross. Okay. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the Overlord to your friends. They agree that she's kind of a snob and totally deserves to be kicked off her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. Let's not. You tell your friends you were totally not serious about the whole thing. You're actually cool with the status quo. After all, life must be pretty dang good if the only thing you have to complain about is that you live so comfortably. There's nothing to do. The others nod, but don't seem convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be more effort than it's worth. But you're still gonna be a rebel and sneak out of the castle. Your friends praise your mischievous ways. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She greets you and says she has a favor to ask. Okay, yeah. We hear her out. This is the same. Overlord asks where you found this maiden, knowing full well that you left the castle when you weren't supposed to. You apologize for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present that you may be forgiven. The Overlord nods and says everything's cool as long as you always listen to her from now on. You're impressed with what an easygoing boss she is. You mention how you can't believe you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. Man's a yapper. She gives you a look and you say, "That was just a joke, of course." She smiles and dismisses you. You decide it's about time for a nap. Is this gonna be the same? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought for sure we could get something new out of that. Hmm. Wait, 200 Overlord, you almost saved me! No, like, truly. I literally was telling on him. Actually enjoying this silly little game a lot. I'm so glad. I am too. I knew I was gonna like it, but I'm liking it a lot more than I thought I would. I'm having a great time. We gotta figure out how to get these last 10 endings. Okay. What if? So it seems like in order to actually... Wait. Be heroic and dutiful. Let's play that from her perspective. Alright. Tell him to get back to work. Yada, yada, yada. Tell her to go home. You'd love to have all the conversations in the world with your new friend, but having a human girl here is definitely gonna cause trouble. Wait. I don't know what happened, but it's an ending we already got, so that's fine. Okay. So that wasn't it. What if you... Okay. Let's see. So if we have you being... No, him being dutiful and heroic... It's kind of the ending that we get anyway. It's gotta be something with the coward trait that does something different. Oh, you know what we've not done? Okay. I don't think we've played the possessiveness out from her side with the underling killing her. Unless we did? Let me just run through it real quick to make sure. Right, keep her here. Alright, we've already done that. Okay. But what if you're a coward? What then? What then indeed? Alright, girly pop, you're gonna stay. We're gonna keep you. Alright, she's not going home. Hero is cautious now. Yeah. We're gonna kill him, slaughter him. Girly pop is scared. Alright, take a step toward the maiden, and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. Something sharp pierces your... Oh, no, Wait. One of your underlings? The maiden screams. Okay. So he's still gonna be a coward regardless, but what if we do all this from his perspective? From their perspective? Alright, let's overthrow her. No, you're sick of this overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friend suggests maybe you should be the new overlord. You like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take the day off like you wanted. Your friends aren't very impressed. You assure them you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. Okay. Yeah. Hear her out. Alright, guys, let's kill the Overlord. Okay. This should all be... You sneak up to the Overlord's room, but there's a couple of humans in there. You watch the scene unfold. You aren't sure why, but the Overlord suddenly cuts down the hero. She approaches the maiden you brought to her earlier. With the Overlord distracted, you figure this is as good a chance as any. You launch a sneak attack, getting her right in the back. She flinches, giving you enough advantage to take her down. You rip the Overlord apart until she stops moving. This was messy. That was messier than you would have liked. The maiden mutters something from the corner. Thank you for saving me. It wasn't your intention, but it sounds like you did something heroic. You tell the maiden to go home. This place is dangerous. She follows your advice and leaves the castle. Your castle. You are the new Overlord. Sick. Alright, that's a new underling ending. I hope I was remembering to keep all of my numbers straight. Okay. I need to do a little bit of addition to make sure I am actually counting correctly. Although, I'm just making the assumption that everyone has roughly 10 endings. But I think it's a safe assumption to make, so I stopped trying to do... Yeah, my math is right. Okay. It's a safe assumption to make, in my opinion, so I stopped trying to, like, do the same people all the time. Right. What about... Okay. Make her a martyr. Make him heroic. And then run this through on the underling side. So we'll see... We'll be disloyal, but we'll see how this changes things. It doesn't. Okay. It doesn't at all. Do I have everything set to what it needs to be? Yeah, Dai's trying to protect the Overlord. Alright. Okay, so what if... Okay. What am I trying to do? What am I trying to do, truly? What if we... Him being a coward is just like going to hide somewhere, and then we burn down again. So I don't think that's going to be something new. But also, the maiden telling on the assassinations takes that option away from underling. And it kind of feels like... Okay. But if you're to put all options on, like, can you check it? We can do that. Some of these things cancel each other out. So, like, if he's hungry, he's always gonna eat her. If he's dutiful, he cannot be diplomatic. Things like that. But we could run it through. We could run it through. Alright, let's start with underling. Alright, let's overthrow her. Mwahaha. We'll hear her out. Avenge my fallen comrades. I didn't do that earlier. Who does this guy think he is, coming in here and killing everyone like some maniac? What did we ever do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy driving his sword into the guard, who sometimes brought you food whenever they noticed you were feeling kinda down. You liked that guard. You wish with all your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing flesh from bone. Tastes like iron. The hero struggles. You feel his sword go through you, but there is no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero is overtaken. Your army has won. You've earned your rest! Guys, that was the key! That was the key! Okay. Let's reset the stage. So you can't be hungry. Okay, wait. That may not have been the key. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll turn everything else on anyway. Let's run it through the maiden's perspective. Okay, we're gonna introduce ourselves. We're going to refuse to leave. Oh, it's just the martyr situation. Okay. So it didn't kill. Alright. What if... Overlord, thank you for the hydrate. Okay, we have 8 more endings. Thinky, hydrate, brain. Exactly. I think so much better when my body's not shriveling up. Alright, alright, alright. What if... How do I get that kind of outcome? We'll just run it. We'll just run it through. What if we let her stay for a while? Nothing new. Okay. But what if we make her go home? What if we make her go home? Nothing new. Okay. Right. Let's just turn everything on and run the hero route. Okay, yeah. I kind of figured that wasn't gonna be anything new. Okay. The selecting everything kind of cooked for that underling ending. But also now I have no clue how we got to that underling ending. Okay. So you're probably dutiful and heroic. We'll just run all of that. We did not eat. We were disloyal though. But it also didn't matter. Alright, let's... I don't know if this is going to change anything. Alright, this is new. You curse at them, choking on your own blood. You die wondering if you could have done anything to... Wait, no, that wasn't new. Why did that act like it was new? Being chilling, not the being chilling. Wait, what if you are a coward? No, that's just gonna be fire. That's just going to be fire. Again. I wonder. We're missing something on the Overlord path. We are absolutely missing something. Alright, diplomatic, trusting, obedient. Coward? Oh, let's run this through. Alright, we're gonna tell him to get back to work. Girly Pop, go home. Alright, but we're gonna do this. It's gonna be the same fire ending, I'm pretty sure. But I just gotta run it through. Okay, as you get closer, you start to notice the tower of black smoke darkening the beautiful blue sky. The castle is engulfed in flames. What in God's name could have happened? You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. Yeah, this is the same. We just wanted to save our new girlfriend. Try to save yourself. This fire is spreading faster. This is so crazy. Should have stayed true to my role. Anyway, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, what if we... What if we did all that, but then brought the hero back? Alright, run it back. We'll obey. We're gonna grab the hero. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the... Oh, yeah. Okay. Gibraltar Castle is on fire. Even stop to thank you. Okay. No, that's the same. That's the same as if he were to not do all that. Okay. Y'all mind if I start doing a little bit of Googling? Just to actually... No, better yet, I'm gonna look at the Steam achievements and see if I can figure out how to piece this together based on what the Steam achievements are called. Are we cool with that? It's like, it's kind of cheating in the same way that Googling the answers would be cheating, but I also still have to figure it out, which I think could be interesting. I think could be fun. Oh, there's an ending for you all burned together. Have I not done that already? Okay. Disloyal? I've not done it from the Overlord's perspective. My bad. Okay, so polite, obedient. Actually, no. Polite, diplomatic, trusting. Let's run it. Google, we were so close. No, Overlord, I'm gonna figure out the combinations based on the Steam achievements. We're gonna do it. The brain is braining. Okay, let her stay for a while. We're gonna yap, have a nice long chat. I'm not gonna force words because I want to make sure we don't miss anything. Yeah, the village should be thankful because I'm such a kind and benevolent leader and I don't want to cause issues. Anyway, the hero's here. It's apparently searching for the maiden who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything is explained, the hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. Alright, let them go. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust in that, you decide. With the hero and maiden gone, you plop down into the comfort of your luxurious Overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. You've almost fallen asleep when the maiden and hero burst into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You're told that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised. How nice of those humans to care, though. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was the first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately, all you do is sleep. The group of demons start muttering something about going back to Plan A and suddenly slam your doors shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die. Burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you were cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration you don't even notice that you've grabbed the underling those traitors blamed everything on. They cry for mercy, saying that they were dragged into this plot knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. We found a new trait. You released the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You'll all burn together. Damn. We got Overlord's true end. Hopefully that does not mean an omen for Overlord in chat. We got it, guys. We figured something out. Before you're taken back to reset the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself? What was the point of all my effort if the true ending is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad end theater. Is the pain setting in? Oh, but you should have been well aware of what you were shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point, you grew attached to my little cast. You started to relate to their flaws, their plights. You started wishing for their happiness. But you aren't going to find that here in my theater, my lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue on to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, dear guest. Well, that's not ominous at all. I've unlocked all the actors' behaviors! Sick. Alright, I'm gonna run through that again, but kill him. Just to see how that changes, if that is a new ending. We're gonna take retribution. You pierce their chest with your claws. They scream. The hero backs away. He is wise not to interfere. They've stopped moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. The underling's corpse burns along with you and the two humans. Damn. But it's an ending! Okay, Overlord is up to 9 endings. Everyone but Homeboy, underling, is up to 9 endings. Okay. Merciful? Let's run it through. Alright, let's overthrow her. Gonna hear her out. Kill the Overlord. To your surprise, the Overlord spares you. Or maybe she'd rather see you suffer instead. Looking around, you've just gone from one dead end to another. Raging, welcome in! How are you? I hope you're doing well. We're collecting bad endings in a video game. And feeling a little clownish. The maiden is crying, the hero is silent. You'll all burn together. Is that a underling's true and damn. Well, I think I know what the 10th endings are for the maiden and the hero. We're dying too many times. Sorry, Overlord. No matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. That's what makes it true. You couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what will happen when you collect them all. Will you give in to despair, or... A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 3. Hey, what does that mean? Can only get true ending? Must be real bad at this game. Raging, I have collected 36 out of 41 endings. I will have you know. Now 21 Overlord is killing me more than the others. I'm sorry, Overlord. I'm sorry. Okay, so before we get the Maiden and Heroes last endings, we gotta get these two. Because we've gotten their true endings. So that tells me they have one more. And I'm confused. Okay. Oh, okay. How do I get the Overlord to destroy the hero after he destroys her army? Senna, thank you for the hydrate. Okay. I gotta figure this out. Overlord, thank you for the hydrate. Oh, I've got to figure this out. Okay, what are the other? Oh, okay. We still have to get the underling killing Girly Pop. Underling taking over from the hero's perspective. Anyway, we're gonna flee like a coward. We'll believe her story. When you reach the gates, you ask the demons if they've seen the maiden. They have. They inform you she's being held in the dungeon at the moment. She trusts them, and in return, they lock her up? So demons are truly evil beings after all. You demand they take you to her, but they do not let you pass. You should have expected as much from these unreasonable creatures. You know what you must do. You thrust your blade through the demon before you and rush the castle alone. You're the only one who can save the maiden now. What the fuck are you doing, killing all my soldiers? The Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her, and all of demonkind. You clash again and again, but the Overlord isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health when everything goes black. Your quest has come to an abrupt end. The unlucky hero. Alright, so hero is now up to 10 endings. Sick. Okay. I know what to do for the maiden's not final ending. Do all the same things, but not captor. Now let's run it back. Alright, we're gonna introduce ourselves. We have to obey her. But then we leave on our own. And the suspicious demons stand just outside the entrance. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them. The underling you recognized from before is the first to do something about it. Why does Google say that there's possible 34 endings? What the what the hell? So I can verify that is absolutely not true. It might have been at one point, though. I don't know. This is just the way it has to be. They suddenly attack you. In that moment, you regret having ever trusted the demons. You die instantly. Rest in peace to the slaughtered maiden. Alright, so both the hero and the maiden have 11 endings. So I was a little wrong. We only have 4 more. 2 of which are their burning endings. So I only have 2 more endings to find. And I know one of them is her killing the hero. I just don't know how to get it. I just don't know how to get it. Okay. Um, where is this at? Overlord destroys the hero after after he destroyed her army. But how do we do that? Maybe not disloyal? Yeah. Yeah, I think I figured it out. Okay. So we have to send Girly away. We have to send Girly away, tell her to go home. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, so he has to be disloyal. Wait. Alright, so to get... See, I want to say her being able to kill the hero after he defeats the army seems the most likely from the ending where they kill both of them. But that can't be... Okay. Because the assassination attempt ends up happening after the maiden leaves. Oh, what if we don't tell her to go? What if we let her stay? No. But we let her stay, but he's not heroic. That's the thing I was missing this whole time. Okay. That's what we were missing, I think. Alright, we can let her stay. The hero starts babbling insincere apologies and excuses, realizing his wrongdoing. But you are far beyond hearing that kind of bullshit. You have had it with these humans, always murdering your servants for no reason. You can no longer hold yourself back and lash out at the hero. Alright, we got it. When you regain control, there is nothing left of the hero. The maiden has fled in terror. You are alone. Rest in peace to the Overlord. We hate to see it happen. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 4. What do I do with the lost letters? What does that mean? We only have 2 more endings left. You lived. Let's go. We found the one ending where you live. Unfortunately, your girlfriend is terrified of you and you are alone. But you lived. Overlord, I'm so sorry we've ended up playing a game where a character named after you dies in almost all the endings. Okay, you need to be merciful. And antisocial. Well, actually, you don't. You don't have to be. Alright, let's run it through as the hero. We're gonna flee like a coward because I'm trying to be diplomatic and I want to know what's going on. Alright, we get locked in a room and it's set on fire. And this little guy is suspicious. Is she going to kill it as retribution? It continues to cry and make excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? You guess it doesn't matter now. You'll all burn together. Rest in pieces. Hero's true end. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 1. Reset the stage! Guys, we're on the last one. Sad, alone, but I lived! Hey, you know what? I love that for you. At least you're alive. Okay. Alright, we are a cool maiden, and we want to be kidnapped by demons because we were told that's our destiny. And I'm getting tired of waiting. But then I fell in love and now I'm trying to save her life. Anyway, the Overlord spares the underling. You feel relieved, but does it make any difference? Will you all burn together? Yeah. Yep, Maiden's true end. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 2. Can't end like this. You want to answer the Maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. But retracing the paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? If there's nothing you can do by acting from within their story, maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. Oh. You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. You didn't know you could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you. But why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, maiden, underling, and overlord have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. You guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? Hi guys! Not the fanfic ending, I kinda love it though. You smile awkwardly and introduce yourself. The maiden is the first to respond. My prayers have been answered! You must be... her god? No, you're merely the player. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these role-playing games go. Now you realize what the real true ending must be. Now. Enough of this. I admit, I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story? How passé. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way onto this stage, did you? I am the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me tragedy if you'd like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You are alone in the darkness with me, tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. Though I can't abide you stealing the show without permission. It's quite disrespectful. Let me make a save point. I'm sick of all these bad endings. Then, frankly, you should never have come to a place called Bad End Theater. Haven't we already been over this? You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending. It's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. Alright, let's fight God, I guess. The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. I'm gonna defend. You try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. Wait, let me try that again. You try your best to tear me down, but you can't seem to do any damage. You don't truly exist in this world after all. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. Behold my beautiful tragic tales. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? You've witnessed all 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be as much of a masochist as me. I commend your thoroughness. Surely these characters have a special place in your heart. They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. That's right. You came here to save them. You can't do this alone. Oh! Okay. You enter the Overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained to the torches on the walls. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? You explain that no, you're not here to serve her. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive with the humans, like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetuating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. You can't help but think it's a little late in the game to be getting some new backstory. I have no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone, to live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. You realize she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well. I will follow you. You got rid of 18, Overlord. You did. That you did. The Overlord will now fight alongside you. Can I summon the... I see. So this is tragedy. Ah, you've brought the Overlord. I don't stand a chance now. You've prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die. Haha, I hope you're prepared to face your deaths as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Damn. Alright. I feel like I need to summon the whole gang. I feel like I need to summon them all. Alright, let's get the hero in here. You find the hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? You explain that no, you're not a demon. You're... How can you explain it in a way that the hero can understand? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? I craft all my own hero gear. You sense his pride in his hobby. You wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. Oh, not us playing naked, that's crazy. You remember the state of your body and decide that, yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He is overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so no one else wants them. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. I can make a living as a tailor, rather than a hero? Please tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. Beautiful. I agree to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. The hero has arrived. We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us. Murderer. I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Okay. And then we'll summon the maiden. You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing! She approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you are not a traveler. Well, maybe you are, in a sense. You've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then perhaps you might be a demon? I was hoping I would meet one today. You think of all the terrible fates that Hope would bring about. She is the catalyst of this story, after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, but you see, I've grown so tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so you ask what it is that she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. If there's something I can do to find fulfillment, then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. The gang is almost all here, guys. What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. Then this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Alright, the gang, the final piece of the gang. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underling is on guard duty, as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? You explain that no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding into their story right now. You tell the underling you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. The underling snickers. You ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life and never get bossed around or picked on. You think of the underling's friends, who had bullied them into an assassination plot only to betray them in the end. If they kept better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the underling suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. So there's a way that even work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. The underling will now fight alongside you. Wait, what the fuck? You didn't say anything about a boss battle. The underling? You must be desperate to call on such an unreliable ally. Huh, if I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over? Oh, but it won't be that easy. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Haha, now that the whole party's here, can you solve my final puzzle? I mean, I'm sure gonna fucking try. Which combination of behaviors will open the path to your true ending? Show me. Your reign of terror ends here, tragedy. I refuse to give in. The hero uses his willpower to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Hope? Our true endings do exist. They simply must. The maiden hopes with all her heart to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Tenacity? Knock me down and I'll just come back stronger. The underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Just a little guy, truly. Okay. I'm gonna say ambition. I'll reach my true ending with my own power. Overlord uses her ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. This is it! With everyone's hearts united, you take aim towards your best possible futures. You unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. Oh shit, that worked. Look at us, guys! You've done it! You've managed to defeat me! A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it. I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Thank you, hero. Thank you, maiden. Thank you, underling. Thank you, Overlord. Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die already. Don't worry. I'll be making my exit shortly. Finally, thank you most of all. We couldn't have made it here without you. Directed by me, not my directorial debut. Yes, my bad end theater did contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it? I wonder. I am satisfied. That was cute as hell. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind. But you've earned this one. Here's your true ending. Guys! That was super cute! I think we could, if we really wanted to, we could go back and, like, I think get other bad endings with that, like, final fight sequence, but I don't know if I want to do that, because that was a really good way to, like, end the game. They got Vocaloids in this game? Sorry, I gotta lock in. You're no longer maidenless? Exactly, you got the maiden! See? You got the maiden! Y'all are girlfriends in the village. And girlfriends in the tower? Stop. They're so cute. I love them. I wasn't sure what I expected from this game, but I did not expect it to, like, actually be that cute and fun at the end. I also wasn't expecting Vocaloids for the credit song. Is this the whole game's end, or is it multiple endings? So there's like a couple other ways I think you could finish it just based on Steam achievements. I'll read them to you if you don't mind. If you don't mind. I have all but 4 achievements. Apparently there were some more tragedies letters we could have unlocked. And there's an achievement for just resetting the game. But so there is a your bad end where you're overcome by tragedy, which I guess we could, like, maybe we could do that. And then there's a tragedy's end. Well, now I'm curious. Something's missing. Oh, you're still here? The curtain has closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. There are no more tragedies left for me to tell, after all. Guys, do we want to know I'm gonna save. I can't save! Okay, ask tragedy its story. Me? You'd like to know why I started this theater? Because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. You gently raise your fingers to the cracks in my mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart in your hands, revealing. I should have warned you. This might affect what you think of my stories. You can't help but compare my face to the maiden's. I'm not her, but it's not like she isn't me, necessarily. That's how it is with fiction. Would you like to hear? Not another ending, but the truth. Now kiss. My enemies to lovers with tragedy. Alright, one last story. You may already know this, but it doesn't have a happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there are no such things as demons or even heroes, really. It was a romance the whole time. Well, get me in any game and I can turn it into a romance. I do need to remind both y'all and myself that I am Arrow Ace. It's mostly a threat, an empty threat at that. Okay. There was a girl eager to set out to fulfill some sort of destiny. That part was true. She met someone, another girl. A running theme, isn't it? The maiden and the overlord. The two were inseparable, and for a time, everything was just wonderful. But their families, the communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. That is the reality for many. This pair was no different. Despite their best efforts, the world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to like the types of stories where love conquers all, where the strength of your love will pull you through any hardship and everything is okay in the end. Arrow Dimmy, and I still like romances and games. I kind of think it's really funny that the way I play video games, very aggressively not Arrow Ace, very, very much just trying to kiss everyone. And I just think the dichotomy is really funny. The contrast of it all is wild. Imsy getting cock blocked. Overlord, I think tragedy is trauma dumping to us. I lost her. And then I started this theater. Ooh! Not the oof. But this story does have a happy ending. Wait, I don't know what to pick because it's the same sentence. Huh? I was hoping to Guys, the Yuri is real! I was hoping to find you. It's you! It's been so long. I thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I wasn't about to give up just because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I feel like such a fool. I could say the same to you. You knew I could never resist giving your stories a happy ending. Piggy Pig, thank you for the posture check, the stretch, and the hydrate. We love to self-care in the name of Yuri. That was my last morsel of water, too. So, of course, I would be drawn to a place like this. Yes, but I didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out okay in the end. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love you. I love you too. Guys, the Overlord and the Maiden is canon. No longer blocked, let's go! So true. Now, truly, everyone can live happily ever after. That's so fucking cute. That's my canon. Am I gonna spend the last 20 minutes of my usual streaming time to try to get... Okay, I feel stupid. I could have adjusted the settings in here, and I just didn't hit the arrows. That's so funny. Actually, I'm okay not getting the last 3 achievements right now. That was really cute. I loved that so much. I'm really glad that I finally played this. That has been in my library at the very least since May. I'm pretty sure. Wait, I think I can see. I played it for the first time today, but when did I acquire it? I can't see. It doesn't matter. I've had it for a while, and it's been on my wish list for like 2 years. Okay, let me pull up Twitch so I can start, while we start thinking about who we want to raid. 1 game completed in 1 stream. Yeah, it's been so long since we've done that. That was so fun. I forgot the joy of playing a short little visual novel that doesn't take multiple streams to finish. Although we've not really done that a lot, just in general. I forgot I had polka dots on my face. I see it in OBS. I was like, wow. The Wormosh. Yes! I have 2 of them. These are, so I have a cat, and the first toy my cat ever had was a pink worm on a string that I got in an anime convention that used to hang on my bookshelf. It no longer has a string on it. But he really liked it. So then I got him a pack of like worms on his strings that are like cat toys, so they have bells attached, which is how they're pinned into my hair right now. Um, he has a whole pack. He does not play with the whole pack, because he doesn't know they exist. But I put them in my hair because I thought it'd be fun. And earlier when Denji was in my room before stream, I thought he was really gonna try to rip them out. Anyway, June is in 20 minutes. Do we have 20 minutes of yapping to do? Do we have 20 minutes of yapping to do? I don't know if we do. But no, that was super cute. I'm glad that we did it. I will be getting back to date everything probably in. So here's the thing. I do really want to finish date everything. I absolutely do. Um, we have some options for next Thursday. We can go ahead and yap about that. We have some options for next Thursday. One thing I really want to do this October, I've been wanting to do it for the past. I wanted to do it last year as well, but I just didn't. It didn't work out. If they stream, they haven't been streaming regularly. Yeah, I don't know if June typically streams on Thursdays. I'm gonna be so honest. It's been more of a Tuesday thing. Um, but yeah, we are. I said this earlier, but we are absolutely playing Slay the Princess this October. I don't know if I want to start it next week or the week after next week because when you Google the runtime of the game, it says the story takes about 3 to 4 hours, which is doable in one stream. However, it also says to get all of the endings, it takes more. And I did watch the first video Markiplier put out playing the game. So I know it's a lot of like back and forth. And somebody in chat who has finished the game or like not necessarily 100% had finished the game, but has like played a complete story. Is it like one story and then you could replay the story to get different endings? Or is it kind of like bad end theater where you just keep replaying it and trying different things and that is the point of the game? I think they mentioned that Tuesdays would be their last stream for a bit. Oh yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yes. Girl, that tells me nothing. I am anticipating I want to leave room for playing Slay the Princess 2 weeks in a row because I'm not 100% certain I can finish it in one stream. That's all that to say that. Another game that I want to play this October, I already have it, is Needy Streamer Overload. I will say, I think it's let me go to the store page. I'm pretty sure it's a psychological horror. It is. It's a psychological horror, but I also know it's a little bit more mature than some of the other visual novels we've played, but I don't think it's explicit. There is a tag, like a category for it on Twitch, so it can't be that crazy. So it's gonna be one of either that game or Slay the Princess that we start next week. Whatever we don't do next week, we'll do the week after. I don't know. I realized yesterday because I was looking at all the visual novels that I either already own and have not streamed or in my wish list that I want to stream. I have quite a few set aside that would be great for October streams, great for like Halloween streams, but a lot of them are long. They are not a single stream experience. And I kind of don't want to like get a bunch of shit started when we still have to finish date everything. Dragon That Is Aging can get a little pause to November. Tuesdays we're gonna stay doing Dragon Age. I feel like we're already gonna be playing Inquisition for like another 30 years. I say that lovingly and with enthusiasm, by the way. I'm not complaining about how long it is. I like doing RPG Tuesdays. I have really enjoyed this like doing specific types of games on specific days because it also keeps me from doing one single game for every single stream, which is what we used to do with Baldur's Gate when the autism was really bad. But no, the Dragon That Is Aging will be sticking around. I guess we could, when we finish Inquisition, I already have Veilguard and we will be playing Veilguard, but I guess after we finish Inquisition, we can do a little, like, check to see if people are ready to jump into Veilguard or if we do want to take a break from the Dragon Age universe for a little bit. I am willing to have those talks later. We'll all be in our 60s by the time you finish Inquisition. No, truly, truly. I will say I feel like we are making good time. Hang on. How long? I think we looked this up last week. But I got to look it up again. How long does it take to play Dragon Age? Not Origins. Not Origins. I need Inquisition. It says, okay, we'll be here for a while. According to the AI overview, 47 hours for the main story. That's not true. I currently, I don't think I have like a good actual representation of hours because of streaming. I currently have 65 hours into Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, that's not 100% gameplay. Some of that is like the 20 to 15 minutes before a stream where the game is open. So I make sure everything works before I go live. Veilguard is okay. Not the best. You can buy a copy for like $5. I did get it on sale. I did not pay full price for it. But also like I really do think I'm going to at least enjoy Veilguard. I'm not expecting it to be my favorite, but I do think I am still expecting to enjoy it on some level. I'm easily entertained. And, you know, from what I've seen, a lot of the characters are pretty enough, so maybe I can get attached to somebody in a way that'll make me enjoy Veilguard. But yeah, we still have a ways to go. Main story plus extras is 90 hours, and it's the completionist that's like 140 hours. Crazy. Somebody finished it in 64 hours, and then their nightmare mode was 74. Why do I take so long to stream RPGs? What is this? I know exactly what it is, but like it's kind of wild to see my playtime compared to other people's playtime. And like realize just how much time I spend aimlessly walking around in that game or standing still and reading chat. Okay. I think that'll probably be it for me tonight, especially since we have decided we're not waiting on June because Tuesday was her last stream. Boyfriends do be pretty to look at. Right? Every character I've seen so far from Veilguard has been gorgeous. Has absolutely been gorgeous. After you guys were talking about Imric and the fact that he has a lot of like fan art of his hands, I did get on Twitter and see some like an Imric hands appreciation post, and I was like, oh, that's what chat was talking about. That's so funny. The timing of that was really good. Yeah, everyone looks so cool. So I think I'm gonna enjoy it. But anyway, I have yet to ask Roy and Moya if we are Baldur's Gate 3ing on Saturday, but I will be streaming on Saturday. It'll probably be Baldur's Gate 3 because I'm pretty sure they're available. But if they're not, we'll probably play some Minecraft or something. I think I said Brainrot SMP. I will say fair warning, every time I have Minecraft and OBS open now, OBS is incredibly laggy. It records fine, but I can't really interact with the program while Minecraft is open. So, I don't know what that's about. So hopefully we don't have to stream Minecraft on Saturday, but if we do, I will figure something out to still be able to like read chat, you know? Um right. I never decided who we're rating. Um I think I want to go hang out in Amanda's stream. She's playing Final Fantasy 14. You know, we were talking about that game earlier, so it seems well on her stream it looks like they're doing Google Maps right now, but she's in the Final Fantasy category, so I'm sure they'll get back to that. The Brainrot server? Tung Tung Who is that? Also, Zenith, I want to say the Brainrot server has been called the Brainrot server long before Brainrot became what it really means now. because we named it brain rot in the sense of like autism Minecraft brainworms, like fandom brain rot, not skibbity toilet Rizzler 6-7 brain rot. Hey, Amanda time. Yeah, we're gonna go hang out with Amanda. I always love. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but after I end stream, if I don't have anything to do, which even if I do have things to do, I end up just putting it off until the next day. Whenever I end stream, it's always just like me chilling on my bed while whoever we raided into is playing on my computer, and it's just like the ambience of the room, and it's great. And I love hanging out and lurking in Amanda's streams because they're always such a good time. It has the good cozy vibes. Brain rot back in my day was so much funnier. So I will say meme brain rot I don't think is necessarily funnier at any given point. I just think it hits different for people based on who they are and where they were when certain eras of brain rot were like the thing. Um because I am a firm believer that like Gen Alpha brain rot is just as stupid as the brain rot that like I would have been super into when I was in like middle and high school or whatever. I think the only difference is just that like there's more people on the internet. So it gets more pervasive. But I think it's kind of all the same at its base level. Brain rotation in my time was just cat memes on Icon has cheeseburger. Yeah, so I never thought those were all that funny, but I do love to see a good silly picture of a cat, so it was still a good time. That era just reminds me of like LOL RXD so random scene kids, kind of, because I guess it was the same era. I don't know, it's just interesting. Memes are funnier when I was in high school. Memes are funnier when you're just hanging out. Memes are funnier when you're just hanging out. But okay, I'm also the kind of person, I'm more likely to find a meme funny if it has been directly related to a fandom I'm in or like something I'm really interested in. So I'm one of those people that likes the memes that are reformatted for like fictional characters, just like drawn into it or whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna send you guys out to A Amanda. I will see you guys on Saturday for hopefully Baldur's Gate 3. Again, 4chan, it was just stupid writings and casual racist on 9gag. Overlord, I'm gonna be so real. A lot of meme culture, even today, does still stem from those like 4chan super racist communities. Like, that's not changed. It is actually wild how much of internet culture stems from those kinds of communities and how normalized a lot of this stuff gets. Just into brain rot because I was playing Steal a Brain Rot on Roblox and I kept saying all those names and laughing repeatedly to the point where they're gonna be dragging me to a psych ward repeating brain rot slang. You know, that's fair. As long as you're having fun, truly. Like, as long as you're having fun, it's fine. As long as you're having fun and not, like, hurting anyone or perpetuating harmful ideology, literally, like, I do not give a shit what you find funny. Like, I don't understand why people are upset about brain rot, because it literally does not matter. But anyway, have a great rest of your night. You as well. Let me get this raid going. But that is for real it from me tonight. I will see you guys next time. Good night.